Hey there viewers, Mr. Snooki Suit, welcome back to Let's Play Super Mario Kart. This is episode 9, and in this episode I have something very specific I'd like to address for a certain other member of the YouTube community. His name is NHSDL06, and he is quite awesome. If you haven't heard of him, and somehow you stumbled on my crap videos, well, after you finish watching and subscribe, of course, go check him out. He's really awesome. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about film, and what horrible things are happening to it these days. First of all, there's film school. I don't know where to start with that. Film school is a strange thing because you have certain film schools that are very prestigious and they have a certain reputation for producing some of the best students, like UCLA or USC or NYU. But it's funny because very few people make it out of these places with standout careers. You know, NYU has Martin Scorsese and Paul Thomas Anderson. Okay, the difference is that Martin Scorsese went for his master's at NYU in film, whereas Paul Thomas Anderson took classes at NYU for about like 2 weeks or something, very small. I mean, he basically didn't take classes. Reason being is that, I don't know, they serve different purposes. Nowadays, I mean, back when Scorsese went to school, you had to have cameras, you had to have film. It's not like today where any idiot can pick up a video camera and start making a movie. I mean, back then, you had to have resources, you had to have a moviola to edit. I mean, you had to have all kinds of stuff. It was vastly complicated. You had to plan when you shot. Now, if you have a video camera, you can go out there with one DV tape, you can record as much crap as you want, and then come back and say, oh, or on the spot, let's say, and you don't like it, just do it again and re-record over the crap you already shot. This kind of thing really removes the discipline from filmmaking, because with film, you have a certain amount of footage that you can shoot. It's expensive, and if you screw up with that footage, you can't re-film film. The film's already been exposed. That's it. Way more complicated, and I think filmmakers of this generation or time or whatever you want to call them, I think it doesn't seem like anyone's rooted in discipline. I think it's funny that Hurt Locker won Best Picture and Best Director when there's hardly any direction in that film. You watch that film, and if you haven't seen The Hurt Locker and you don't want spoilers, this isn't huge, it's just a scene. But, so warning, there's just a scene where something's been blown up. Surprise. And the camera's just wandering around for what seems like 10 minutes of just the area around the explosion, like the camera's focusing on a shoe, and it's like, what is this? What is going on? What information is being conveyed in this scene? A shoe? There was a bomb blast? I mean, we've been seeing bomb blasts for 2 hours now. What it really seemed like was that Catherine Bigelow, the director, James Cameron's ex-wife, was just shooting, and she has no real sense of direction. She's more about improv and kind of feeling, more so than structure. Like Hitchcock, you know, he hired a designer to do his storyboards. Not just a storyboard artist, which I don't even think was really a concept back then, but a designer. Okay, very old school, very rigid, very planned, but incredible, incredible timeless films. Catherine Bigelow, on the other hand, goes out there and she shoots a movie like it's a documentary. I mean, her film isn't made on the set, it's made in the editing room, which doesn't really speak volumes about your strength as a director. I mean, if there's no direction, it's more editing. So, best direction, how about best editor? I mean, best direction should have gone to the Coen brothers, okay? A Serious Man, no doubt in my mind. It's just crap like that. Very lenient filmmakers these days. It's sad. A film school, like Paul Thomas Anderson went to film school, and he realized, why am I here? The instructor told him in one of their first classes that if you're here to make another Terminator 2, you know, a film like Terminator, leave this class. Scorsese's instructor at NYU, Haig Moonigan, told him that if there was a gun in a film, it couldn't be art. Like he said, A Third Man with Orson Welles was just a good thriller, but Scorsese, on the other hand, was saying, no, it's more than just a thriller. And they disagreed, but they're obviously still on good terms, even though Haig Moonigan passed away. In fact, Raging Bull was dedicated to Haig Moonigan at the end of the film. You can see in the credits. But you know, so Scorsese gets his master's at NYU. Well, you know, Paul Thomas Anderson realizes, hey, you know what? I thought Terminator 2 was awesome, and you know what? I'm not going to stick around this pompous, pretentious crap, you know? So he took his money that he was going to spend on an education at NYU, and he made his own film, and now look, the guy just made There Will Be Blood, and who else knows what's coming. You know, people are saying Paul Thomas Anderson's the next Kubrick. I mean, I don't think that, but hey, that's amazing, okay? So film school, really, all it's about is connections and resources. And like, the film program I'm in, the instructor was like, well, why go to USC? If it's connections and resources, you have the resources here. If it's connections, just take the train on down to USC and grab a pamphlet and go join one of the sets. And it's not hard at all. You just go down there and you seriously volunteer and you're schmoozing it with UCLA students. I went to a film shoot as a PA and a boom operator and a set decorator. It was just ridiculous. But I was basically there doing the work, and afterwards I got an invitation to go to a bar in downtown LA and have drinks with the director and the producer. And it was as simple as that. And I was talking to the director about films and stuff, and you know, it was all good. Do you really think you needed to pay the ridiculous fees to go to UCLA to have that right there? No. You're still going to be making films at any other school. It's not like they sprinkle magic dust on you or something and you suddenly make better films. And another thing about film is, like, the program I'm in, there's a lot of posturing. Like, who's doing what, and I work this hard for this, and all this crap. And then you listen to these people talk, and you know that they have no indication that they do anything in their private lives that relates to film. It's just something they do when they're at class, and then when they get home, the whole filmmaker thing's not there. It's non-existent. And that's a problem, because if you want to be a filmmaker, you have to be obsessive, you have to be constantly thinking about film, discussing film, talking about film, watching films, making films, although that's probably the hardest of all those things to do. But there's just, I don't know, there's this huge just gap in quality but in films from, you know, like, I don't know, mid-90s, late 80s to now. It seems like, I mean, this is no mystery, and people are always going to complain about blockbuster films, popcorn films, and you know what? Popcorn films can be great, but Avatar was crap. Avatar is a piece, I don't want to get explicit, but Avatar was trash. That film was garbage. And people praise that thing as it's like the next Star Wars. It's like, not even. Star Wars had storytelling. Avatar is garbage. You know, I am getting so caught up in this, I think I might continue this in part 10. But anyway, yeah, film school, it doesn't matter where you go, it matters what you do. I know it sounds kind of like a hippie thing to say, but I guess it's true. But, you know, part 10, count on me ranting more about films if somehow you stumble upon this, or this is mainly for NHS DL06, but whatever. Anyway, guys, I'll see you next time on Mario Kart, and hopefully not as much ranting about film. Okay, see you next time.